Hi and welcome to Wheelchair Fighting Man. The title of this vlogcast is Jim Cornette, Lifestyle Guru. Now, what I mean by that is, do I think Jim Cornette is a lifestyle guru? Hell no. But do I think a lot of his views on wrestling are transferable to real life? Hell yes. And do I think he educates people in an industry that's misunderstood? Hell yes. Do I think he's entertaining to listen to? Hell yes. Do I think he should be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? Even though he probably wouldn't want to be, I think he should be for his services to wrestling. And I mean, the guy is just walking history. I'm actually well jealous of any grandkids or family he may have, because basically at the end of the day, I mean, what a showreel. I mean, I did one wrestle, I did 4 wrestling events, one where I was the announcer, one where I was the GM, and one where I was kind of, had a bit of a, what do they call it? A bit of a work, it was the most worst work. Well, in my opinion, I mean, it was what it was. Let's just put it that way. But basically, I mean, I always wanted to get in the ring, try it. I love, the whole razzmatazz of combat sports anyway. I love the build-up, and I love, what I really like about pro wrestling is when there are no egos involved, and you consider the people within your organisation or whoever you're with as family, before egos get involved. And what I wish I'd found Jim Cornette's podcast around the time I was doing this, because I think I could have handled things a lot more differently. I mean, I'm a really enthusiastic person, so if I get something between my teeth, like the bit between my teeth, and I was like, we could do this with the promo, we could do that with the promo, and it would have made sense. It would have drawn a line under it. It would have added something to something. But in my mind, anyway. But I just thought, let's try and push the boundaries. My PA thought, Sean, you're going to get yourself killed. All my friends were like, you're going to get yourself killed. You're in a wheelchair, you're going in there, man, Jesus, you're going to get yourself killed. But one thing I will agree with Jim Cornette is, first of all, I wouldn't say I don't like Vince Russo. I don't know the man, but I can't stand the man's vlogcast. I actually thought that look, for all his wrongdoing, he's obviously got some sort of ADHD, but for all his mistakes that he may have made, he is enthusiastic, and that boils over, and whether that comes across sometimes as, I'm just going to say it, whether it comes across sometimes as like loving himself. I mean, like the tribute to China was just like, I didn't know if he was grieving himself for himself, about the death of Vince Russo, or whether he was grieving about China. But the point is, what I like about Jim Cornette is he will say, look, whether it's about politics, whatever. He gave, when Trump got elected, he gave his email out. This is my email. Send me some ridiculous things I can say about Trump, or send me your thoughts on it. And he don't give a damn. And, when something's not gone right in the wrestling piece, he's gone, these are his words, not mine to paraphrase, but fuck you. I'm not doing that. And it's not that he's thrown a tantrum and gone home. It's the fact that he's just gone, hey, it's gone too far. And he's managed some of the best wrestlers around. He's been involved with some of the all-time greats. Most of the all-time greats, to be honest. And, you look at what he was involved in, AWA and NWA, and all the promotions in the South, and then, WCW, and then, Crockett, and it doesn't seem to be like, one promotion, even WWE he was involved in. And he was, the fact is he understands the creative process of And the thing is this is what I feel the problem is with, where the problems can occur with pro wrestling. And this is where I will give Triple H a little bit of props, but I do feel that a lot of things kind of are happening because people go, oh yeah, that's cool. Like the broken Matt Hardying, you know. I personally, I can see what's good about it and I can see what's bad about it. But it gets attention, it gets views, people are talking about it. Now, you know, obviously they went, oh, that'd be a cool idea, we'd do that, right? But it got people talking, but that can be the problem. You know, you need a voice, you need someone in the middle who can go, hey, hold on. I mean, like Undertaker versus Shane McMahon at the last WrestleMania, WrestleMania 32. Really, you look at it on paper and it is laughable. And the match was okay-ish. And I said with a bit of, nah, but the fact is you look at it on paper and Jim Cornette was right to laugh at it. And he predicted almost how the match would end without even having seen it. I agreed with him with Lucha Underground. It's not even worth watching. It's a waste of time. And I just think that it just degrades the business a hell of a lot, you know. And I'm with him. I think kayfabe has its place. I think reality has its place. I think now we can split the audience in the middle between youngsters and older fans like myself. I think that, you know, having someone like Jim Cornette, and hopefully, I mean, I hope in the future we get, well, I don't know who we could get with his kind of experience to talk about the industry with his amount of knowledge of different wrestlers, but he knows what he's talking about. Hearing him talk about some wrestlers and the skills that they had, I have to agree with him. You know, I mean, Big Boss Man, great talent. Bam Bam Bigelow, tremendous for his size. Vader, okay, maybe he's a bit moany outside the ring, but what a bloody athlete, you know. At the end of the day, you know, so many criminally underused talents that weren't used to their full potential. And Jim Cornette will say that, and he'll let you know a few secrets and whatnot. But I think the nicest thing about him is he's loyal to those who are loyal to him, and he's been very loyal to Jerry Lawler. I think that's gone on. Well, he's had some stuff in the press, but I don't. You know, again, you know, I'm kind of, from what I've read, I agree with Jim Cornette, but I'm not just going to kiss his ass. What I will say is, I think, you know, he's the Vince Russo thing. Gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. And I think he's not too set in his ways to go back into the industry. He chooses not to go back into the industry, but I do think that could be to his detriment. I do think that even though he doesn't like ECW, you know, hardcore style wrestling, I do think to see him and Paul Heyman on TV, to have him and Paul Heyman back as managers, will be absolutely amazing. Or as some form of talent and some form of creative. At the end of the day, these guys know what they're doing. They know how to push people. And if you've got Jim Cornette, right now WWE needs Jim Cornette. TNA, I mean, he's been working with Ring of Honor. Remember, all the guys that have been at Ring of Honor have gone on to WWE. Now, that pretty much, the majority of guys, have gone on to WWE. And I just think that says it all. I think that he needs a Hall of Fame induction. I think he needs to... I think if I was Vince, I'd be opening my checkbook and I'd be sucking his cock. And I'd be saying, metaphorically, and I'd be kissing his ass. I'd be saying, come back. We need you. Because the problem is, at the moment, the product is watered down. There's too many stars. There's too much to focus on, you know. And there's just not enough hours in the day for people to stay abreast of it. And it's, you know, it will run itself. I don't think it'll run itself into the ground, but I think if you get Cornette there, he can tidy it up and give it the sleekness that I think Triple H and Vince wants the WWE to have.